Alright, well this is a bit more normal compared to last video, me filming this on a Wednesday. So tonight I'll be predicting the winners for round 12 of the 2020 AFL season. To start off the round, we head to Optus Stadium on a Thursday night in the Sydney Derby in Perth, apparently, where Sydney and GWS face off. I will be tipping GWS because they seem to be doing a little bit more at the moment. They seem to be getting more done. They didn't look that great against Essendon, but found a way to win, and that's how they've been winning in the last few weeks, even though they did, excluding that convincing win against Gold Coast, but both against Richmond and Essendon looked shaky, but found a way to win. I think they've been getting some more done, as opposed to Sydney, who haven't won since round 8, and just that's been their own win since round 3. So on form, Giants have been shaky, but Sydney don't seem to be doing a lot, so I'll go with the Giants. Friday night at the Gabba, Geelong and Port Adelaide. This is an interesting game. I'm going with Geelong for one reason. Port Adelaide have to travel on the same day. They have to take a plane. That's basically my only reasoning. Geelong's defending extremely well, and their attack's pretty good as well. Port Adelaide played probably the game of the year last week, but I just feel, is Port Adelaide going to suffer a hangover? That's what I'm always concerned about with the Power. Are they going to suffer a hangover? I feel like this week a hangover will happen, but that's more so they will be affected by planes. So I think Geelong will just scrape this one in. On Saturday afternoon at Metricon Stadium, North Melbourne and Brisbane. Oh, come on. Surely Brisbane, they've been playing so many games in Queensland, surely they get a home match. Anyway, I will be tipping Brisbane. I think this is going to be an absolute flogging because North Melbourne are in an absolute shambles. Got thrashed to an average Melbourne side last week. Oh, and I got the margin right. 57 points. But anyway, I think this is going to be an absolute thrashing. Brisbane, not too many times they fault unless they play in Richmond. So I think this will be a flogging. Speaking of the devil, Melbourne play Collingwood at the Gabba. And I am tipping Melbourne after that impressive victory against North Melbourne. I know I just called them average, I get that. But they thrashed the Roos. They also thrashed Hawthorn early in the year. And they seem to be playing decent football in the last few weeks. Collingwood, on the other hand, they haven't been in great form. All right, they got a free win on Tuesday. Yeah, I wouldn't take beating Adelaide into account that much. If you look before then, they lost to Fremantle, had a pretty shaky win against Sydney. And who was the other team? There was still another one. And they got thrashed to the Eagles. So, look, Collingwood not in the greatest form, and Nathan Buckley caught up in more controversy. And if something else happens in the off-field media, which I think might, then I think Melbourne could be in for a shock upset win here. Saturday night at Optus Stadium, Fremantle and Carlton. Now, Carlton have been alright, but they've been shaky. They don't play a full game. They play 2 quarters, okay? Or 3 at best. Fremantle, look, they've been on and off all year, but Monday was a comprehensive performance, at least defensively anyway. I wasn't so keen on their attack, but their defence, they choked Hawthorn. They choked them pretty badly. Hawthorn could only score 4 goals. So, I think Fremantle are going to choke a pretty shaky Carlton. Again, it might be a low-scoring drop. I get that. It will be a low-scoring game. But I think Fremantle, if they choke Carlton the way they choked Hawthorn, I think Fremantle will be getting the victory. Especially that Carlton aren't exactly the hardest team to beat. On Sunday afternoon at... Wait, which one's first? Oh, the Adelaide Bulldogs game. Well, you go Bulldogs because Adelaide don't seem to be winning anytime soon. I've basically just given up hoping Adelaide win one match. I'm not an Adelaide supporter, thank God, but it's always upsetting to see a team just, winless, okay? You want every team to win at least one match and hear their club song at least one, especially that the Crows song. I actually don't mind it. I don't think that'll be happening. Bulldogs, well, look, they're not the greatest, and to be honest, there is a chance that Adelaide might beat the Dogs, but I keep saying this every week, and, well, they play for like 2 quarters and then fade away. I'll be tipping Bulldogs because, obvious, the golden rule, don't tip Adelaide. Next one. Sunday after, that was super long for a game involving Adelaide. I think after it was more about the club song than the actual tip. Sunday afternoon at Metricon Stadium on the Gabba, St Kilda and Essendon. Now note on the graphics that both teams are generally black with red text. I'm tipping St Kilda, and as you can tell, I put Essendon with the red background and black text, and the margin is in black background and red text that denotes St Kilda, okay? Just noting that. They drew to Gold Coast. They haven't been playing that well. Since that game against the Bulldogs, they've been on shaky ground. They've won 1 game, draw 1, and that 1 win was against Adelaide, and 3 losses. St Kilda, okay, they lost to Geelong. It wasn't unexpected. Generally, they've been pretty good, and I think they should be able to bounce back against a pretty shaky Essendon side. Essendon side. All right, Sunday afternoon at Optus Stadium, West Coast and Hawthorn. Pretty obvious game. You got to go to Eagles, won 6 in a row. They've got the best team in the comp right now. They've got the most dynamic team. They're playing like a team. Look, will the dark cost might give an effect because they're generally a daylight team. But look, I wouldn't give the dark too much notice. I still think the Eagles will be able to beat the Hawks, who got absolutely choked to Fremantle last week. Let's not forget. And speaking of Monday Night Football, Gold Coast and Richmond play. Gold Coast coming off a draw, and they don't seem like they want to win, okay? Gold Coast don't want to win. They love competing. They love getting the game all the way, but when it comes to getting that tiny last step to win, they don't win. Last week was a perfect example. They were up by 20 points and only managed a draw against Essendon. Richmond, lost to Port Adelaide in a pretty good match. They thrashed Brisbane 2 weeks ago. I think they'll do the exact same thing to Gold Coast. So, to recap my tips, I am tipping GWS, Geelong, Brisbane, Melbourne, Fremantle, Western Bulldogs, St Kilda, West Coast, and Richmond. I hope you like this video. Please subscribe. Please give this video a thumbs up. Comment who you think will win this weekend down below. And check out some of my other videos. And I will see you next week. Goodbye.